How's it going, everybody?
Hi.
We're pretty late tonight, but we just got back from Ford City. We were in the Heritage Days, and we are now. Well, Abby's getting to stay up extra late tonight. She wanted to watch the soccer game, so we are watching United States and Mexico, the CONCACAF Gold Cup, which is like maybe one of my favorite tournaments next to the World Cup. So I don't know if anyone's going to come on tonight, but if you do, you can hang out with us and we'll watch a little bit of soccer. We can talk Fort City Heritage Days. Anything you want to talk about is on the table. Be happy to have you, and we'll see who comes. So, there's a couple people on here already. That's good. Let's see. So how's everybody doing tonight? How was your weekend? What's going on? Do you have any questions for me? Let's see. I'm pulling up the comments. So I can't really see who's here or if you're commenting yet. But I should be there in just a moment. So let's see. The soccer game, for any of you that care, is still 0-0. I know the Women's World Cup, the United States won the World Cup today, so that's pretty awesome. I don't know how many times that makes for them, but it's several.
Daddy, who won that World Cup today?
The United States, United States women's team won the World Cup for the girls.
Who? Which team?
Which team?
Yeah.
The United States, our country.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were the best.
Let's see if the boys win.
Yeah, so if the boys win today, it'll be like probably the best day of American soccer in history. So we'll see what happens. 0-0 against Mexico. This is the final. So if they win, it'll be they win the Gold Cup, which is like for our entire region. That's the.
How many points do they have to get, Daddy?
Well, it's just whoever gets the most points. So right now, nobody's scored any points yet.
Oh. Yeah, because the blockers are so good.
Yeah, the goalies, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, they're doing pretty good. Let's see here. Gosh, I need to complain to YouTube. This is horrible. Okay, so a couple things that I wanted to talk about were, number one, the podcast that I did this week, and then the video I did with Meredith Inn. I thought that, I was just shocked at how many people watched that. I don't know if you guys have been to the Meredith Inn yet, but I would highly suggest that you go try it out. It's a new restaurant that's in the old YMCA, and they completely redid the building, and it's like they redid it with like colonial decor, and it's just really, really cool. So it's just a neat place to go and see. And then on top of that, they make really good food as well. So it's like higher end food. Maybe like Amano, I guess, would be high end food in Kittanning as well. I've heard good things about the Allegheny Mariner, but I haven't been there since the new ownership changeover. But I think Amano and Meredith Inn are like creating this high-end restaurant scene in Kittanning that's I don't know, we've just never had since I've lived here for sure. And so it's been really interesting. You have Yamato now. You have what's the Italian place in town? Villa Rosa, and then you have the Mariner, and now the Meredith Inn. And it's like we have several like middle to high-end restaurants in Kittanning. It's pretty crazy. So anyways, let's see who's here. So Kelly's here, Melissa's here, Kristen Sleece. I don't know that I've ever seen your name here, Kristen. Glad to have you tonight. That's awesome. Melissa says hi, Abby. And then Eli was here. I don't know if y'all are still here, but anyway, I probably won't be on for very long tonight. Just wanted to pop on and talk about number one, that restaurant scene. I think it's really cool that we have, that kind of caliber of restaurants in the city now. That's really, really awesome. And if you look at, if we're trying to turn into like a more touristy town, to have that many restaurants in town is pretty incredible, really. And we're kind of like priming ourselves for the future. So when we do have more visitors in town, they're going to have a lot of options to eat, and then hopefully I think we need to have more options for them to stay, as far as coming and getting a hotel room or beds and breakfast, those kinds of things. So you're making me yawn now. So there's that. I think that's really cool. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the new podcast series. Mike Rizzo and I did a podcast this last week in regards to trying to learn from all these different lists in the country that are lists of like the best small towns in America. And so a lot of them just have a lot of those kinds of things. Like there's different travel magazines that have top 10 lists or top 15 or top 20 small towns in the United States. And so he's been researching and going through all of those lists and checking them out just to see, what do they have that we don't? What are other cities doing right, and what does it take to get kind of noticed, on a national level like that? And so, the very first one, Mike talked about the fact that a lot of these cities have the arts is a big thing that's they're involved with. And so we're trying to figure out, what can we do to get Kittanning more on the art scene? How can we just kind of increase that in town? I know we've talked about murals. I think there's a lot of opportunity for murals on a lot of the bigger, older buildings. There's a lot of buildings that are not very beautiful on the side, and so if you could put a big, beautiful picture on the side, that would be really amazing. And so if we could make that happen. The other thing we looked at was Paducah, Kentucky had a major art scene where they is that a funny name? Yeah. They had a bunch of vacant housing like Kittanning kind of does, and so they had taken all their vacant housing and converted it into artist like grants, and so people could join up, or an artist could apply to get a house, and then they were working with local banks, so they get a low interest loan, and then the artist could come in and buy the house for $1. And so they converted all of their vacant housing into artist housing, and they basically created a whole art scene from nothing. And now Paducah, Kentucky has an arts college. They have a bunch of... You really think that's so funny, huh? They have a lot of different things involving the arts, and it's just completely transformed their town. Now, they're a little bit bigger than we are, but there were a lot of towns on the list that had, 300 people or 600 people. Gosh. Why'd you have to start yawning? And so they're smaller towns, and then they create a little art scene. And so some of them have 3 art galleries in a town with 600 people. And then you look at a place like Foxburg, just a couple hundred people live in Foxburg, and they even have a little art gallery in town. And my wife and I went there last year, and it's a really neat little art gallery. It's really cool, and
Can we go there, Daddy?
You want to go there someday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you would like it. Yeah, we can definitely go there. I love Foxburg. They have a chocolate shop too, and a coffee shop, like the one we went to in Maryland. And you love that coffee so much. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I loved it.
go pick your nose. Pick your nose. So if you guys, if you're available, connect with those podcasts. I think it's been really good. We had a really good start on that, and there's like 7 more lists that we're going to go through and just try to identify different things that maybe we could work on in Kittanning. And if we could, create a art gallery, even if it was a temporary one, just to test things out, just to try different things and see if something is going to work, or if we could do one mural, or get one mural approved by city council, and get a building owner that's willing to put it on the side of their place. If we could just make one little thing happen here and there and just try to get the ball rolling in the right direction. And so it's not all the podcasts aren't going to be all about arts. I think they'll all have a different theme, and we'll come up with different things from different towns. But it's been really interesting to kind of look at some of these great small towns in the United States and try to figure out, how can we make Kittanning one of those places? How can we achieve our goal of Kittanning 300 as we're trying to solve all these other problems like blight, and trying to solve the problems with local government and filling up downtown businesses, and the opioid addiction problem. If we can solve all those things, we probably still need something to kind of put us over the top to get us on one of those lists. So I don't know. I'm just really excited about it, and I would love if you would connect to it. So last thing I want to talk about, let me check comments. I don't know if anyone's even here. Tim says, hi from Colorado. Just got in. Good to have you, Tim. It's awesome. I'm so glad you always I'm so glad you always come and check this out. Very cool.
Daddy,
What?
Tim. There's a kid named Tim on Magic School Bus.
Oh yeah, there's a Tim. There's a kid named Tim on Magic School Bus. Abby wants you to know.
Yeah, that's a kid show that we watch.
Yeah.
It teaches us a lot.
Yeah, I like that show. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Kelly says, "I'm gonna go to bed. Just wanted to pop in and say, hey, got to work at 6, be up at 5:30. Stayed up until 6 in the morning last night and only slept 3 hours, so I'm tired." Kelly, yeah, I can see why you would be tired. That's about the life that I live on Saturday nights as well, preparing for sermons and all that kind of stuff. Then Tim says, Paducah is a great little town. Been through there just hundreds of times in my big rig. That's really cool, Tim, so I'm glad that you know about it. Is it all it's cracked up to be? Does it deserve to be on one of the best small towns in America lists? Let me know. So last thing, Abby, let's talk about Ford City Heritage Days. What did you think tonight? Did you like the festival?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite thing?
Getting my 2 prizes.
Getting your 2 prizes. Yeah, we played some games. We did
We did 2 games. We did this game. We had to throw a ball into a cup.
Yeah.
And we only got 2. One in, but then we did it again, and we got 1 in. So we earned more cards. So we got to get a stuffed animal for ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we played another game when we have to shoot cups off. So we
it was like a Nerf gun. You had to shoot the cups. Yeah.
You had to shoot the cups off. 5 cups. And I shooted 5 cups off, and I got a Ninja Turtle. Let me show my 2 prizes.
Yeah, I was gonna say you better show your 2 prizes.
Here's this one.
Yeah.
This guy.
Got your little robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
careful.
already got 2, and I got another one.
And the
this
big guy.
This guy.
Ninja Turtle. You guys, Melissa, you'd be proud. She selected the Ninja Turtle.
Hi.
Melissa, I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, you'll love it, I'm sure. So yeah, that'll be coming soon. We went to Ford City Heritage Days, believe it or not, for the first time 8 years ago. My wife and I have been married for 8 years, and that was the first time that we've been to Ford City Heritage Days since then. After we got married, we came down with my grandparents and my parents. We came to just see Kittanning because my parents wanted to see the town we were going to move to. We still had not bought the building yet. We didn't even know where we were going to live when we moved here. We just knew that we had to move here by the end of the year.
Before we lived here, we lived at a building, but then we moved here.
Right.
Because we wanted more space outside.
Yeah, and what I'm talking about is before you were even born, Abby. So. And
whenever
if you think of it, let me know. So we visited Ford City Heritage Days then, and I think my mom even said, you should move to this town. And then I remember we drove through West Kittanning, and my mom was pointing out houses that she thought we should buy. And it's funny how we ended up in downtown Kittanning, and that kind of started this whole love affair with the greatest city in the world. And so.
Oh, no, I remember.
You remember? Okay. You forgot again now? That's okay. Tell me when you remember. So I think that's it, you guys. So we haven't been to Ford City Heritage Days in 8 years. I got some pretty cool drone shots, especially around the Catholic Church down there. Man, that's such a beautiful church.
Whenever we were gonna move here, I wanted to stay at the building. I wanted to stay at the building. You did, yeah. And for about the first 6 months we lived here, you kept saying, "When are we gonna go back to the building? When are we gonna move back to the building?" We're not going. We're not going back. Although I think we could. I think we'd still have fun if we moved back. But I think we're kind of attached to this place now, right? Yeah. You'd like it here now? Mm-hmm. It's nice to have outside to go play, right? Mm-hmm. And today we went and picked berries again. We got like another 2 quarts of berries. So yeah, all we get is more and more. Yeah. Get lots of them. So we probably have picked like 3 to 4 gallons worth of berries already this year. Although it's starting to slow down. Blackberries will still come later, but all the other berries are starting to slow down.
Oh, man. Sorry. Game is still 0-0. I'm a little distracted. Anyways, I think that's it. Let me just see. Oh, Tim says, did they have any fireworks back there? Yeah, they had fireworks two times. They had them on the 4th of July on Thursday.
And they're going to have them tonight really late.
Yeah, they're going to have them tonight. They should be going off in about 10 minutes, actually. So 10 o'clock fireworks is too late for us, but I'm sure they'll have a good time down there. It was a nice little festival. We got really lucky. It looked like the forecast, it was going to be about 2 hours worth of rain. But we stopped
at 0. There's still 0.
Still zeros, yeah. So we went to Harper's and ate inside just to get some food in our kids' tummies.
0 minus 0.
And we had a great little dinner, and then right when we came out,
I ate a whole bunch. All of my lot of chips and one of my
grilled cheeses, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them, because I couldn't eat the other one. I was too stuffed.
Did a good job. And then it's like, as soon as we finished dinner, it was like I looked at the radar, and all of the 2 hours worth of rain had just dissolved into nothing, and it was pretty much sprinkled for a couple minutes as we walked into the festival, and after that, it was great weather. It cooled off, not a lot of sun, which was nice for me, and yeah, we just had a nice, fun little night, huh?
Mhm.
Played some games, walked around the festival, talked to some people, and I don't know. I just enjoy that kind of stuff. So.
And we saw a tree that was carved in a face.
We did, yeah. So I'll show that on the video too, huh?
Carved it.
Yeah.
Carved it.
And then we're only 1 month away from the folk festival too. So the Kittanning Armstrong Folk Festival will be coming up real soon as well.
Mommy, Daddy, when is there's gonna be that movie that you said we're gonna watch?
Movie in the Park is next Friday. That's coming really fast too. Busy summer. A lot of great stuff going on.
3 movies?
Well, we missed the first one. We were in Minnesota, but we're gonna go to the next 2. So we are gonna watch.
What was the first one?
The first one was Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Whoa.
And now it's gonna be Lego Movie 2, I think, is this month.
How does Ralph break the internet?
I don't know. We'll have to watch it. It's on Netflix now too.
Yay.
Yay. All right, guys. I think that's it for tonight.
Does he break the internet?
I have no idea. I never saw it.
Probably breaks it.
Probably. All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming and hanging out. Those of you that are watching this afterwards, thanks for watching. And be sure to tune into the podcast. We're planning on doing one of those each week with Mike. I'm also planning a separate podcast kind of series with Joanne Arroyo. And we're going to do one on mental health, and then specifically how that relates to addiction as well as we go through it. So I'm really excited for both of those. And we're just going to try to figure out, number one, how can we fill up these downtown businesses in a creative way? And number two, how can we solve the opioid epidemic? I think we already have a pretty good handle on the blight problem, and we're actively working toward a solution there. So I'm just very, very excited for the future. Thank you for all of you guys for connecting to the channel and for connecting to all these videos. It has been it's been an amazing ride. I can't wait to see where we go from here. I think that's it. You got anything else you want to say, Abby?
Bye.
Bye.
See you in the next one.
See you in the next one. She knows the words.